Alright everyone, welcome back to my channel, Baseball Talk with Nick Morgan. So today we are talking about the Mets and who they hired as their new general manager. So this is actually really cool. For me, going into this offseason, I thought they were going to go pick up Joe Girardi, and that was my favorite pick for them. But Girardi ended up signing to the Phillies. Link in the description if you haven't seen that video yet. I did cover that topic. But I really like who they have now instead of Girardi. Carlos Beltrán, he's a former player, used to play for the New York Mets from the years 2005 to 2011. I think this is a great pick, and he will do well with the situation he's being put into. He's got a great team, a great rotation, and some good offseason opportunities to make some more magic happen with this franchise. So I'm excited. I think the Mets will do well next year under his control. And let's get more into his stats and everything about Beltrán. So this is Carlos's first managerial job. This is his first opportunity. He really wanted to go and be the Mets manager this year. He emphasized it a lot. People talked to him, and he made his point on why he wanted to be manager, and I'm happy he's now getting the opportunity to do so. However, his new bench coach is a familiar name with the Mets organization, Terry Collins. Again, this is supposedly the new bench coach, and I really like this too. He is the longest tenured manager in Mets history. He played in 1,134 games, or he managed 1,134 games in 7 years, and he had a .595 and .417 overall record as a GM. So now he's going to be the bench coach. He's going to have experience. He'll be able to help out Carlos Beltrán whenever he needs it, and he'll be able to give helpful hints and ideas to the new manager as well to make sure that his first season and his couple of seasons with the Mets is successful. So as a player, Carlos Beltrán did some amazing things throughout his 20-year career. He had 9,768 at-bats, 1,582 runs scored, 2,725 hits, with 435 of them being home runs. He brought in 1,587 RBIs. He swept 312 stolen bases with 1,795 strikeouts, a .279 career average, a .486 slugging percentage, and an .837 OPS. Beltrán has been said by many coaches and managers right now in the sport that he is a quick learner and he is ready to handle whatever is given to him and the opportunities that he may face. So that's really exciting. I think he will do very well with the Mets, and I'm happy that New York picked him up. Again, for me, as a fan, I was thinking that they were going to go with Joe Girardi, but once he got done with the Phillies, I think maybe it was a money issue. He signed with the Phillies as their manager, and now Carlos Beltrán is in. But I really, really like this move, especially over some of the other guys that we're talking about. Eduardo Perez is one of them, and a couple other bench coaches and managers from other teams as well we're interviewing. But I like that Carlos Beltrán will have his first run with the New York Mets as a manager. I think he will do very well. He will succeed. And let's talk about how the Mets played this year and their overall record with, of course, Brodie Van Wagenen and their general manager at the time, Mickey Callaway. So Mickey Callaway was the general manager before this new hiring of Carlos Beltrán. Not many people liked him. He made some very questionable decisions. Didn't really handle his team well. A lot of pitching mistakes that he shouldn't have made. He put in people at the wrong times, and he just didn't really seem to know how to operate the Mets team and what they had, because at one point they did have a wild card spot. They finished third in the NL East with a record of 86 and 76 this season, a .531 win percentage, so at least they were over 500. But again, they at one point had a wild card position that they could have taken advantage of and made it into the postseason. I think maybe with Carlos Beltrán, it might not be his first year of service if they go that far, but I think he could definitely bring them to the postseason, especially with guys like Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso, Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard. If you re-sign Zach Wheeler, then you'll have another great pitcher there, but Wheeler might be on the move. We'll have to see. But you have a good team for Beltrán, and this is very exciting for him, I'm sure, and for fans as well, because Callaway made very poor decisions. But now I think Beltrán will come in as a new learner, especially with Terry Collins by his side, and he will be able to do well at this position. He will exceed expectations, in my opinion. And I cannot wait to watch him in 2019 and see what he does with this Mets lineup, rotation, and everything that this team has to offer. So you've kind of heard me say it a couple of times, I'm excited for Carlos Beltrán to come in. I think he's a good pick, and he should do well with this Mets team. But now I'm going to kind of go ahead through my wish list, what I want Carlos Beltrán to be as a manager for the Mets. Now, I think they definitely need that one side of him that is an enforcer, much like Joe Girardi, some of the aspects he has to his manager side of things. He needs to be able to discipline the players, not come off too harsh about it, though, in his first year, make a bad impression. But he needs to go ahead and let people know if they're doing something wrong, let them know how to fix it, and just slightly, helpful criticism here. Not like, hey, you gotta stop doing this, you're doing really bad or whatever, but you need to put people in place when they mess up or when you need to fix them and something that they're not doing right. That's huge. I think Carlos Beltrán really has to kind of work on that and put that into his manager opportunities here, because this is a big deal for him, and he really has to pay this off, especially if he wants a future manager job somewhere else if the Mets don't continue with him once his contract is up. And for the next part, he just has to have that mental game, that mental skill, because you have to outplay the other team, lineup-wise, pitching-wise, and all that. So I think he will be able to put a crafty lineup together with a good rotation and a solid bullpen. I think he will make better decisions than Mickey Callaway, at least we all hope. But yeah, I think he's given a good squad, and pitching-wise, I think he knows what to do. He's witnessed the game before, he's played the game, he knows the situations that players are in, what pitchers have to do to get in and out of games, and how hitters have to hit and everything. Like, he was a player in the big leagues for 20 years, so he has his experience on the field. Now in the dugout, he should have knowledge, and that should kind of correlate as well, and that should help him out as he goes through. He's a veteran of Major League Baseball, and I think he will be a great manager for whatever team he manages after the Mets, unless he stays with the Mets and outmanages Terry Collins as the longest tenured. But I'm really excited for him. I think this is great. Carlos Beltran should be an amazing manager, and I'm excited to see what he does. Again, I really want him to enforce some things into the players, but I want him to be nice at the same time, and just kind of be cool and chill like Joe Girardi was. Get mad at the umpire sometimes, stick up for your players. I think that's great. So guys, that's going to end it for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like down below, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace.